What is up, you guys? Glitchiz here, coming at you with another Dauntless video. But first, if you enjoy quality gaming content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And if you want to show a little more support, then consider using my supporter creator code within the Dauntless in-game store or for any in-game purchase within the Epic Launcher. Really helps support the channel and allows me to keep making videos for you guys. That being said, if you enjoyed today's video, then be sure to smash that like button and comment down below. I appreciate all your guys' feedback. Makes me a better content creator and helps me make videos you guys actually want to watch. Now for today's video, it's a sweet video that I've been waiting to make for a while now. For those of you that don't know, the most viewed, commented, liked video on my entire channel was my support build that kind of went viral, sort of. It had some mixed reviews in the beginning. A lot of people questioned it and said that I was making it harder for people, and the Half-Life builds are the meta, and that's what everyone needs to use. Damage. But then a little thing called Frost Escalation came around. They added a new Unity avatar, which was totally based around support and giving shields to your team, which made support builds a lot more viable, thankfully. And with that update and with some of the new cells that came in to the game, such as Cascade, I made a new, revamped, even better support build for you guys that I want to jump right into and show you all the stats for. I will show a full 10 to 50 escalation at the end where I got upwards of 9,000 shields during this build, and because of Cascade, about 1,500 of those shields were permanent, so we went into every single round starting with 1,500 shields. So let's jump right into the build and show you how cool it is. So to start out, similar to the previous support build, we are running the Poisonous Thorn. This is the Agorist legendary Terra weapon, because it has an amazing support utility ability that can revive all slayers in a large radius and grants them healing over time, which the size of that AoE is about the entire arena, so really good healing ability there. And it also makes you immune to stagger while the ability is being activated. Now on the sword, I'm running double tenacious because this will be a full build. We're going to take full advantage of max health and max shields to get those perks, and I'll go over that in a second. For the special mod, I'm running Avenging Overdrive because the final boss, Urska, in the Frost Escalation and a lot of the behemoths you typically run into are a little bit faster, so being able to parry and have a little bit more mobility with my special ability is definitely preferred for this escalation. For the regular mod, I'm running Recursive Hilt, and then for the bond, of course, we're running the Skarn weapon for those increased shields. Now the way that the Unity avatar works is, originally when I read it, I thought it was that you get the frostbite reduction anytime you give shields to your players, but what it actually does is it gives a 7 shield tick randomly on hit. It's not based on how many shields you give, it's just on hit that it gives 7 shields, and then depending on what amps you get, you can boost it to 14, you can do some AoE damage with it. So what I decided to do was I removed some of the overly supportive things from my previous support build and added in more damage, but still utilized Guardian, because anytime that we get shields, it's going to give a percentage of those shields to the rest of our party. So definitely going to be utilizing Guardian in this build, but it's going to have a little bit more damage output, which a lot of you guys are going to like. So moving on from the weapon, we have the helmet. And the other thing that's good about this build is it's not too hard to make. I mean, the hardest 2 items would be the Gauntlets from Torgadora, which has been out for a while, and the Agorist sword. Other than that, all the rest of these pieces are pretty easy to make. So for the helmet, we have the Sight of Stone. This is the Skarn helmet. That will have +3 tough on it by default, and we're throwing another +3 tough cell on it to get us to +6. And for those of you that don't know what tough does, when it's at +6, we're going to get +500 max health, which will bring our total, because it's a full life build, it'll bring our total health pool to 1,600, as well as increase healing from all sources by 50%. So anytime we do the bonus healing from our avatar and do any type of pylon or potion, we're going to get increased healing from that, and the Terra unique effect that can proc potentially on behemoths as well for the healing orbs. So we'll get bonus healing from that. From the chest piece, this is one thing that I changed here. We're running Mantle of Thorns. That will give us +3 Predator, which will give us a little bit more potential damage. But now I'm running Cascade, and we will get to +6 Cascade by the end of the build. And the reason why +6 Cascade is so amazing is because it has both support viability and offensive viability. So at +6 on Lantern Hold, we randomly generate 4 basically rainbow colored Skittles on the ground, and each of those different orbs has the potential to give you a different buff. So with +6, we get healing, stamina, and power boost increase for the different colored buffs, but we also have a chance to generate an invincibility shield, similar to the shield you get when you grab the purple crystal when fighting Valamir. It's the same exact type of shield, and it basically just makes you invulnerable to all attacks for a short period of time. Now, the different colored Skittles, I call them, that you can get with Cascade are yellow, which gives you a stamina buff, red, which gives you a power boost, green, which will give you healing over time, and the potential for the purple one, which will give you the shield. Now at +6, all of those perks will give us bonuses. So the green ones that would normally only give us healing regen will also grant bonus shields when we do it. The yellow ones will get even more stamina boost. The red ones will give even increased power boost. And then of course we get the invincibility shield at +6, which is really, really good as well. Moving on, we have the Torgadoro's Brawn. These are the Torgadoro gauntlets. That will give us +3 overpower, and then I'm putting some more offense into the build to give us +6 overpower. For those of you that don't know what that does, it'll give us 60% additional damage anytime we stagger a behemoth. So that's a big power jump there. I try to include overpower into all my builds. It's one of the strongest cells in the game. I also didn't mention what Predator does. After not taking damage for 15 seconds, we'll do another 14% bonus damage. We do lose this when we get hit, but if you're halfway decent at dodging and you can keep this up, and you should have it up at the beginning of every round because there's 15 seconds in between each round, you'll get a nice little 14% damage boost there too. Moving on, we have the legs. These are the Pillars of Stone. These are the Skarn legs. And on these legs, we'll get our +3 Guardian built in, and then I'm throwing the second +3 Guardian to get us +6 for Guardian. And this is what makes the build so good. What +6 Guardian does is 60% of the shields applied to us are also applied to our nearest ally for 15 seconds. So when we go into our overdrive ability and we're doing that AoE damage with the Skarn bond, we are snagging a ton of shields off of these guys. And with Guardian, 60% of those shields are going to be going to our teammates. So we're going to be shielding up the team really, really high. And with the bonus shields from Cascade, the shields that we get are permanent. So like I said, when you watch the escalation run at the end of this description, we had like 1,500 shields that were permanent shields at the beginning of each round because the Cascade was working so well and we were able to pop it so quickly. Lastly, I'm switching from the Skarn Lantern in the previous support build to go to Drask Eye for increased damage, and that's where our second Cascade cell is going to go to get us +6. The last thing I didn't go over from the weapon was Tenacious. This is the other big thing that we need for this build at +6. For every 100 current HP that we have, we do 2% bonus damage. And because we have 1,600 health, that's going to be a big boost in damage. And then also for every 50 shields that we gain, we get 1% bonus critical strike chance. Now, as I mentioned previously, in this escalation, we hit upwards of 9,000 shields at some points during like the 4th phase of the escalation. So you're getting near 100% critical strike chance on all of your hits with the amount of shields that you're getting with this build. It's pretty nuts. Then the few things that I changed for Frost Escalation is the Cleansing Pylon. You always want to run Cleansing Pylon to get rid of any potential frostbite. And we will be running, I'll show you guys in a minute, the perks that I picked for the Escalation Terminal. We do run the perk that rushes it to 50%. So having these pylons in case of an emergency, is always good to have. And then I did the Frenzy Tonic and Blitz Tonic for the increased damage and increased attack speed. So let me probably do a quick cut here and we'll go over to the Escalation Terminal and I'll show you what perks I picked to get the most out of this Unity build here. All right, so here we are at the Escalation Terminal for Frost Escalation. These are the amps that I chose to go with that I think are best to get the most out of this build. Feel free to just pause this and copy it, or you can listen to the description real quick. I'm taking Frozen Armor. That will give us additional shields. Really good for this build anytime we take a Frost Defender amp. We're getting +3 into Zai's maneuvers for the increased move speed. And then, of course, we have to take Insulated Gear to give us that Frostbite reduction. Second column, Insulated Gear 2 for more Frostbite reduction. 3 points into Borman's Might for the 15% stagger damage hit passive that'll go throughout the entire escalation. 3 points into Morva's Reinforcement for 15% damage reduction during the escalation. Bottled Warmth, which will prevent us from building up our frostbite meter for 8 seconds after leaving a brazier. So really, really good there for in between the fights. Of course, insulated gear 3 for more frostbite reduction. Heated blade, which will give us some big damage boosts at the beginning of each round. For every lantern that we absorb, we get 50% bonus damage on our hits, and that can stack. For example, from the 4th round to the boss, you pass like 5 or 6 lanterns. So that's 6 immediate power hits that you're going to do right at the beginning of the fight. So really, really good to have there. I'm also taking Warm Blooded. This is your clutch amp, just in case for some reason you're in an emergency situation and you do get frozen. Once per run, you can auto unfreeze, and it's basically a get out of jail free card. Plus 3 points in the Cat's Claws for the 10% passive attack damage for the entire escalation. Then we're running Never Bothered Me. This is the perk that rapidly fills our frostbite meter to 50%, but also gives us a 15% passive attack damage and damage reduction buff throughout the entire escalation. So really, really strong amp there, as long as you can manage your frostbite. Lastly, we got 3 points into Lucky Strikes for the 50% critical strike chance bonus. And then lastly, Cold Rush, which will give us 25% increased movement speed, 15% increased attack speed, and 10% increased damage for 1 minute every time a behemoth dies. So on those double behemoth rounds, we're getting a nice little buff every time that we slay one, jumping into that second behemoth. And then lastly, obviously, Aspect of the Mender, which pulses 25 healing to all of our allies within a short distance every 5 seconds, and the amount is increased to 50 because we're running the Avatar of Unity. So really, really good synergy with all of these amps, with the warm bottled warmth and the warm blooded and our insulated gear. Despite having Never Bothered Me, you shouldn't have any issues dealing with frostbite. And yeah, really, really good buffs there. I recommend taking Torrent Shield for even more shielding and support for your team throughout the escalation. Also, any of the Unity-based Avatar amps, specific amps, I'll probably post them on the screen in a minute. They give really good buffs. One does AoE explosion damage. One increases the amount of shielding that your teammates get when you proc that Unity buff. And the last one, I think, gives your entire team additional attack damage whenever the buff is applied. So really, really good amps there. And if you see those pop up, definitely grab them. But yeah, that being said, that's the build, you guys. Let's jump into some gameplay, and I'll show you how insane this support build actually is and how much damage you can do with it, even though it's a support build. It's really, really strong. So let's check it out.
Protect yourself, Sky Slayer, and make use of the spears. Won't menace my people any longer. I'm grateful, Sky Slayer, but the fight's not over yet. As soon as you have the charge Aether you seek, you must move on. yourself against the frostbite near the safe areas before it's too late. charge Aether is yours, of course.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Also, if you're looking to join a killer community of like-minded gamers, then be sure to click the link in the description and join the Glitch Gang Discord server. We continue to grow every day, and it's filled with all your favorite game discussion channels, as well as several LFG channels to help you find that perfect group for your next hunt or raid. Lastly, if you're new to the channel and want to keep up to date with all my future content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Hope you all had a great day, and I will catch you on the next one.